Getting clean and sober won't fix your problems. Let me just say that again. Getting clean and sober won't fix you and your problems, because that's where most men get it twisted. You think quitting drugs or alcohol is just a finish line. Let me tell you now, that's just a starting point. And if you don't get that into your head, then you're just setting yourself up to fail, to relapse, and to run back to the same stuff that's got you in the mess in the first place. And I say that not to crush you or to crush your hope. I say that so you can get real and actually realise this journey ahead of you, which is going to be one of the hardest but most rewarding journeys that you'll get yourself on in life. So let's talk real for a second. You can get clean and sober and still feel empty. You can still feel weak. You can still hate what you see in your mirror. Why is that? Because the real problem was never the drugs, the alcohol, the sniff, the weed, whatever it is. That was just a distraction. The real problem is the version of yourself that you needed to escape from in the first place, that you needed to get wrecked so you didn't have to be inside your head with those thoughts. And how can I say that? Because I know I've been that guy running away from my problems, getting off my face so I didn't have to deal with it. But do you want to know the truth? The hard truth that a lot of people don't want to hear or don't like to admit? Drugs didn't wreck your life. You wrecked your life. You just use drugs to make it easier to ignore. Drugs or alcohol to make it easier to ignore. But here's where it gets real uncomfortable. Getting sober takes away your excuses. No more, I was drunk. No more, I was high. No more, I was off my face. It's just you. And what's left underneath? Most men aren't addicted to the substance. They're addicted to not feeling rubbish. They're addicted to not feeling like depressed and empty for once. But when you've spent years running, numbing yourself, avoiding, facing yourself can feel like war. And that's why so many go back, not because they're weak, but because they were never taught how to fight without a crutch. And when you just rely on the crutch and use drugs and alcohol as a crutch, then when you take that away, all of a sudden you're finding it hard to walk. And here's the raw truth. Getting clean won't make you proud of yourself, but rebuilding yourself and becoming the best version of yourself whilst clean and sober will make you the proudest, most self-respecting person on this planet. Because you don't just need sobriety, you need a new identity, not just a clean version of the same broken man. You need a different man, a stronger one you actually respect. One that when you say you're going to do something, you know deep in your heart you're going to do everything in your will to make that happen. So if you want change, start here. Build a morning routine that doesn't include regret. Wake up, get some exercise done, even if it's just banging out some press-ups and listening to a motivational speech or a video like this. Start your morning with a bit of positive energy. Say no when your brain screams yes. When you think, I'm just going to get off my face, say no. Learn how to sit with your own thoughts instead of having to reach for your phone, for drugs, for alcohol to escape. And get around men who build you up and force you to do better instead of just making excuses a norm around you. If you stack enough of these small wins, that's where the real high starts. That's where your power begins. And that's what we do inside the Limitless Level Up program. It's not just about quitting, it's about becoming. It's for the men who are done lying to themselves, who are done escaping, who are ready to lead themselves for real. So if this hit you, click through to the website, download the free Limitless Man Blueprint, book a breakthrough call with me or one of the team, but only if you're ready to stop pretending and start building for real. Because if you're just going to be I'm going to start it on Monday, or I think I'm ready to change, but you don't know deep in your heart, you'll know when you're ready to change and start leveling up. But let me remind you, getting clean won't fix you, but rebuilding yourself, that'll turn you into a man that you can finally be proud of. And that version of you that's waiting on the other side of the pain, he's worth it. Trust me, he's worth it. But you've got to kill the version of you that keeps running first. So let's go.